is the greatest version of you that you bring to the table, that you bring to a relationship? What's the greatest version of you? Have you ever asked your question, what you bring to a relationship that is the greater version of you? Or are you bringing the chaffs? Or are you bringing the negative aspect and not bringing the good part? Bring a greater version, the best of it all. That's what we bring or you bring in your relationship. Be it a father-mother relationship, be it a father-son, a father-daughter, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, brother and sister, sister and sister. What do you bring to the table in that relationship? Do you bring the best version of you, or do you bring the worst version? Or do you don't care whatever you bring into that relationship? There are times we don't even know that in a relationship you're supposed to bring you in that relationship, but in a better version. If you are somebody who has anger issues and easily get mad, easily get upset, if you're coming into a relationship, you want to bring in a version, the best version of you. How? By working on your anger issues, finding out different ways, tips on what you're gonna do if that anger happens. Because it's gonna happen many times. You got to tell yourself that. Start preparing for it, how you're gonna walk out of it when it happens. By bringing in the best or the greater version of you. Yep. If you now know, oh, I talk too much, and this talking at times upsets people. You already know that part is a version of you. But you want to be in that relationship because you love that person. Because you want to be with that person. What are you going to do? You're going to work on yourself to bring a better version of you. Learning how to keep your mouth shut. Learning how to keep quiet even when you know the answer. Learning how not to rant or to argue when it's not expected. Learning how to stay put and just listen when that person needs you to listen. How are you bringing yourself, your greatest self, to a relationship? Are you the I don't care partner? That you does whatever is good for you, and the other person has to be the one stepping up, has to be the one wanting to fix. How Henry has to be the one wanting for that to work. Are you bringing the I don't care attitude? The I don't care attitude can only work temporarily, but it's not gonna last. If you don't want to work on the kind of version of you bring to a relationship, the I don't care, your partner can tolerate it just for a short term. Your partner can tolerate it just because of certain circumstances. But when your partner hit the wall, they are done. And when they turn their back, they're gone and gone for good. So you got to reevaluate yourself and ask yourself, what am I bringing to this relationship? Am I bringing a greater version of me? Am I bringing a refine? Am I working constantly to keep refining that relationship Some people will say, I've married for 10 years. I've been with this guy for 5 years. I've been with this guy for 15 years. I don't need to bother because he already knows my in and out. I don't need to care. My dear, we have to care. Any point in time, the coin can flip. It just depends on how stable you made your coin to be. By constantly working on yourself to keep bringing a better version of yourself to that relationship. Some people, they just respect only when you guys were dating and before you married, and after that you're done. You're like, okay, I don't think I need it anymore. We are already married. And so that was a commitment, a life commitment. You said, till death do us part. It wasn't like when we are married for 10 years, 15 years, I wouldn't be caring because I'm already there. Nope. You have to constantly keep working on a greater version of you to bring to a relationship. Are you that person who thinks that because you have money in the relationship, the other partner has to be crawling on your knees to beg? The other partner has to sleep down on the floor to beg you for money? Is that the version you're bringing in that relationship? Yeah, it can work for a time, but there comes a time even the beggar denies to beg. The beggar will say, I'm tired of always asking money. I am done. I'm not asking you any money. Keep your money to yourself. I'm done. And you will be shocked because you thought you have the wings of that person cut off and put for you. Nope. It does not always work like that. Always remember that change is constant, and for that to work in a relationship, you have to constantly change, work on yourself to be a better person. Are you that mom who always send away your child, say, oh, I don't have this and I don't have this? When are you going to tell the child, I have this, or get this? Or that's not a priority. I have more important things that I prioritize. That keeps letting the child know, oh, they are not that important. My mom always have important things. My dad always have important things. Is that what you're teaching your younger one? Or you're teaching your younger one to bring a better version to themselves, to you, and as they grow and into the community? Constant reminding yourself as to, what am I contributing to my relationship? It can be a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. The fact you've dated for 2 years, the fact you've dated for 1 year, doesn't mean that that person will marry you if you're not bringing a better version of yourself to the table. The fact that you've been married doesn't mean that you will last because you're not bringing, or you have neglected it and you don't care how the other partner feels. And there is something we want to always remember, that needs change constantly, all the time. What wasn't your partner's needs today may be his needs or her needs tomorrow. How do we change? How do we also follow the evolvement of the relationship? By constantly working on ourselves. By constantly learning how to share, how to love, how to care, and how to be empathetic, sympathetic, and respond to one another. Because if you don't bring a better self or a better version of you to that relationship, it's gonna broke. It's like a baby that you nurture. It's like something you nurture. And you need to keep putting the different things that need they need to grow. And when you stop adding those ingredients, guess what? There's no growth anywhere. And before you know, it's stagnant. And before you know, there's no way. So ask yourself this question. What version of myself do I bring in my relationship? Do I bring the version where I get to count my partners wrong, the dates, the time, how many years, how many times they've done that? Is that the version you bring to the table? Or do you bring a version of forgiveness? And as you count the mistakes and recount to your partner, you make your partner angry and want to do more. Are you in a relationship where you are always pushing blame? You are never the person who did the mistake or wrong. You always push it. It was you. Remember, I told you not to do this and you did it. I was just waiting for it to happen. And are you in that relationship when your opinion is not accepted or your opinion is not the one taken? You will always wish that the thing does not go successful because your version was not taken. You have to remember it takes two. And in a relation, it takes two parties. And if the parties are not together, guess what? It doesn't work well. The fact that they didn't take your version today, maybe your version can work tomorrow. The fact that it wasn't successful today, it will be successful tomorrow. We're just gonna work on ourselves and be a better people, better versions of ourselves. What do you bring as a better version of yourself? Do you bring less communication, less time spent together, always busy, always having meetings to attend, always having places to go, that your partner is the least on your priority list? Is that what you bring? Is that the better version? You always have this business to run to. Your partner is not always there now because you have business to run to. What happens if your partner step out of the picture so that you can run the business? How far can you go with that business? Because you feel like you got a better version of yourself. The reason I brought this topic is for everybody, including myself, to reflect on yourself and ask myself, what version of mine do I bring to our relationship? Do I bring nagging? Like we women, we nag a lot. Do I bring complaining? We women, we complain a lot. Do I bring unlimited wants? We women, we have a lot we desire. Our list can never be exhausted. Or do I bring grumbling, nagging, always wanting, always desiring, having? You are never satisfied. Or do you bring ignoring attitude? Or do you bring look down on people? Some people, you feel like they've arrived, and the person you are with now, you feel like you're supposed to be with other people higher than. The woman who was there worked with you. The man who was there when you guys started from scratch to build whatever you build together, and now it's succeeded. You feel so proud of yourself, and the other partner is exempted. And you don't see yourself being a different version to be with that person who has been you, working with you from scratch. Like, seriously? Your level has been so elevated that what you bring, the version you bring, is an intimidating person, a person so full of themselves, feeling like they have it all put together, and every other person, you feel like you want to trample on them. Is that the version you bring to your relationship? Is that the version you're showing your kids so that when your kids grow up, they should be able to display in the community or in the society? Is that the version you bring? The version of you bring in the relationship? that you constantly go on without being conscious. Oh, I'm a married woman, I'm a married man, my family miss me, I should be heading home. Oh no, you don't care. They're always there, they can wait. I have to do what I have to do. Nope. Are you that person who brings cheats? You're cheating now because you don't care. You feel like the other partner is too old for you. It's not your kind of man. It's not your kind of woman. But that person was your kind of man when you had nothing. That person was your kind of woman when you have nothing. Now you're bringing a version of you that this in that relationship, that the other person is an inferior being, and you're diminishing their self-esteem, and you are like blowing and feel like you have arrived. Is that the version you're bringing in a relationship? Ask yourself those questions. If somebody were to see you now and see you 5 years before and see you now, would that person be saying, oh, you've evolved, you've grown, a lot of growth in you? Or that person will say, oh, you've gone down the drain, what happened? This is not the you I know. Is that what that person will be saying? So the question I ask again, what version of you do you bring to a relationship? Do you now become a woman beater, or a husband beater, or a husband snatcher? Is that what you're now becoming? Or are you becoming that caring, that humble, that gentle, that you name them? Those are the things we want to reflect and ask ourselves about. If you can identify 3 positive things that you're changing yourself to be, that version to bring to your relationship, and you think that's going to make your relationship to grow, why not? Keep doing what you're doing. But while reflecting, you figure out, oh, I have been trying to destroy my relationship. Why not change it and fix it so that your relationship can continue to grow? It may take a while, but it will continue to grow. When you bring a better version of you in your relationship, and your other partner bring a better relationship of him or her, and when the two are put together, that is success. Then people will get to point and say, oh, those people are doing well, those people are doing well. Don't rate a book by its color, because you don't know how that relationship is going. It may be going well from your eyes, but it's not actually going well. And don't compare relationships. Focus on yours, because only you and your partner know your relationship. Only you and your daughter, only you and your son, only you and your mom know those relationships that you have. So these people, they also have their relationship. Don't compare. Because we come from different families. We come from different places with different attitudes and behaviors. Because what A would take is not what B would take. And what works in the family of A will not work in the family of B. Because we have different family dynamics. And the families function different. You just want to know what works in your family, and then you keep going. If there's nothing you want to take home today, don't forget to tell yourself, what version of myself do I bring in my relationship? And figure out how you're going to answer that question. So that's all we had for you today. See you guys in our next video. Don't forget to like and share and comment. Share your own version that you bring to your relationship. See you. Bye-bye.